Welcome everybody. Father LeRoy Scheierl here, and here's to another episode of my Cabin Fever Faith. Yeah, I'm entitling this episode, One Discovers More Than One Seeks, for lack of better terms. I'm just here walking in the wilderness and enjoying beautiful nature. I hope you had a great Christmas with your family or friends in whatever way, shape, or form you could do that, given our times. You know, what our society needs most, I think, is a walk in nature. Nature has a healing power. Yeah, in the words of John Muir, who is the founder of the National Park System and Sierra Club, when one takes a walk in the woods, we always discover more than we seek. In other words, there's something that's transformative and good for us. And like I said, I think what our society needs most is a walk in nature. You know, nature has a certain randomness and yet harmony. It has a certain unpredictability and yet a pattern. And it's in that mystery that we discover God. And I think John Muir mentioned that the wilderness is really God's cathedral in so many ways. And so we need to visit that church once in a while. Not just our church buildings, which are important, and our worship. Jesus always connected our individual spirituality with communal gathering. But yeah, we need to do that as well. You know, and speaking of nature, you know, the Feast of Epiphany is coming up real soon, and yeah, we all know the beautiful story, right? The three wise men, or astrologers, went out on a journey following a star, a light that eventually led them to the Christ child in Bethlehem. You know, God always speaks to us through the familiar, and for the astrologers, they saw a sign in the sky through the stars. Now, astrologers in those days are much different than the ones today, right? In the old days, they were the timekeepers, the calendar keepers. They didn't have watches or calendars. They used the stars as God's natural time clock, and to tell people when to plant and when to reap the harvest of the seasons of the year. And so they were the wise men of the time. And the stars told them that something special was going to happen. And you probably heard of that conjunction, of the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn that happened on the winter solstice this year. Yeah, that's pretty rare. And some scientists believe that was exactly what the astrologers were following. They discovered this conjunction of not Jupiter and Saturn, but Jupiter and Venus. Jupiter being the king of planets, Venus being the mother, coming together in all places. Leo, which symbolic of the Jewish people, lion, and then coming together in Regulus, which is the king star within Leo. So the King of Kings was to be born. And then, of course, that constellation happened right next to Virgo, the Virgin. So there's a lot of things you can interpret from that. But, you know, so God begins with what's familiar. And God spoke to those three wise men in what they knew best. And from there led them to the Christ child, right? Following that star. But I also believe, you know, that star, there was something miraculous about that star, too. It wasn't just a scientific thing. So, but I think that probably we have to believe in the supernatural as well. But anyway, that journey that the three wise men made is really our journey, too, isn't it? Whether it's a walk through woods or enjoying family time, we need to follow that star, follow the light, who is Jesus himself. And like a walk through nature, we always discover more than we were seeking, in the words of John Muir. Just like the wise men discovered the Christ child, more than they thought they would ever imagine seeing. Not only the King of Kings, but the Savior himself. And tradition tells us in the Feast of Epiphany, after the three wise men presented the gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, that they went back to their own countries telling about this King of Kings, this Messiah who would reign in a new way through peace and justice and love and reconciliation for the whole world. So Yeah. So take that journey, take that walk, and 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 seek what find out what God is telling you today. We all need that walk, that healing in the wilderness, and so go ahead and do that. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Just got some snow in the woods here. I don't know, it's probably 10 degrees out. It's not too bad for Minnesota winter, truth be told. And this is a trail that we have in our woods, my brother's woods, where I spend a lot of time getting away. And yeah, whenever we take a walk in nature, we often find more than we had sought. So take that walk and that journey in faith with the Lord, and follow that star. That's what the wise men did, and it changed their life. And I think it could still continue to change our lives too. God bless. Father LeRoy Scheierl. Yeah, hoping you're having a good holiday season and a happy New Year. As New Year, hopefully 2021 is better than 2020, and we're able to kind of gather with family and friends like we did not so long ago. God bless.